Joining me as we get ready for Super Bowl 58 this weekend. You may remember him from around here. He played at Norwell High School. Then he went on to Northern Illinois and starred there. And then he was drafted by the Indianapolis Colts as Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. But he's always relevant to us. Chandler Harnish is here with us on K105. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Dan, I'm doing really well. Thank you for having me on.
It has been a long time. You think about it now, the draft was back in 2012. It was 12 years ago when this happened.
Blink once, and, it's already passed you by. I feel old, and now I have a couple kids, and I'm married, and it seems like a distant memory, but it also still seems like it was just yesterday. So many experiences and friendships, forged forever.
Absolutely, man. I mean, you got drafted in the NFL. I mean, that's the cool thing. And you went on from the Colts to play with the Vikings and the Cardinals for a little bit. But that draft in 2012, I mean, last guy drafted, I mean, you're just pumped that you're in the NFL, right?
Yeah, and then to be drafted to your favorite team, your hometown team that everybody in Indiana loves was just an unbelievable experience. And what was even more interesting is I was closer to home in the NFL than I was in college. So I was able to see my family that much more, and they were able to come to games. I was able to sneak back to Norwell and watch my little brother Pearson play during his time. So it just really worked out pretty awesome.
And the funny thing is, you've got a history with the song K105's Boys of Fall because you were in it the year you were drafted, and then your brother was in it as well.
That's right. That's exactly right. And, it's just kind of uncanny how all the connections are made, and really almost have to pinch yourself sometimes when you think about it.
And we'll get back to Boys of Fall here in just a second, but the reason I wanted to have you on was because of the title of Mr. Irrelevant, because the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, Brock Purdy, last player drafted in 2022, 10 years after you had that honor, now he's in the Super Bowl. I mean, what could this mean for every Mr. Irrelevant that has ever been drafted and never got to this point? What would that mean to you to see him win this?
Wow. Just an unbelievable, thing that we can all kind of, just make our own little claim to. It's our special little fraternity of Mr. Irrelevance. More than anything, we're just proud of what he's been able to do. He's certainly raised the stock of Mr. Irrelevance around the country. So it's funny that the more success he has, the more interviews I do. Although I have nothing to do with his success. It's really neat to sit back and watch the successes that he's had, and the naysayers that he constantly proves wrong.
Yeah,
that's probably what's most fun to watch.
Now, I just wondering, with it's kind of like a little club with the Mr. Irrelevance. It's like the Heisman House commercials. Do you guys have your own house where all the Mr. Irrelevance go and hang out?
Well, now with Brock's success, it might be a great commercial to do. But
yes,
no, we don't do that. But I do know that a lot of the guys stay closely connected to the Irrelevant League, the organization that they've set up. And the family that set it all up, Melanie Fitch is her name. She runs it, and her father, Paul Salata, he started it. They do just such a great job, and who knows, maybe someday that could be a really cool idea.
Chandler Harnish is with me here on K105. Of course, Norwell High School graduate, went on to great success, drafted by the Indianapolis Colts. Now, I wanted to bring this other thing up. I said I'd bring back Boys of Fall again. You have something in common with somebody who's playing in the Super Bowl this weekend, and his name is Drew Tranquil, who played at Carroll High School. He also was in K105's Boys of Fall. See how this stuff is all connected together?
That's pretty awesome, isn't it?
It is wild. I mean, we've been very fortunate to have a lot of guys from the area make it to the pros. Just this year we had Joe Tipman from the Jets, who came from Bishop Dwenger. We had Jesse Bates, who went to Snyder, and now is playing with the Falcons, and Ben Skoranek, who went to Homestead and is playing with the Rams. It's just like this hotbed of professional athletes, like we knew him when, right?
Yeah, that's right. You remember the names like Jason Fabini and Rob Woodson back in the day.
Yes.
And you always felt like it was too high of an honor to achieve, but now you see kids doing it, year in and year out. That's pretty neat.
It is. It is awesome. Well, man, it's awesome to talk to you. I want to get your Super Bowl prediction, and then I want to bring up a little funny moment, and then I'll let you fly. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl this weekend?
Before the Chiefs beat the Ravens, I thought the 49ers were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And now that Patrick Mahomes is back, it makes it really difficult. But I'm going to stick to my guns here. I think the 49ers are going to win. I think it's going to be close. I think they're going to win 24-21.
24-21 San Francisco, and Brock Purdy to throw the winning touchdown pass, right?
There you go. Yep. 2-minute drive. They got to win the game.
Okay, now I'm going to bring up the little blooper in your life that I know you've probably addressed numerous occasions, and I actually forgot about it. So I look at something, I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot. The pass that hit Pam Oliver. She was on the sideline, and when you're playing for the Colts, it was in a preseason game, and I know you guys had a moment after that, and can you tell us about that? And if you have not seen this, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, check out the video. Just Google Chandler Harnish, Pam Oliver, and you'll see it. So what happened after the fact?
Or do me a favor and don't Google it.
Delete it. Delete it.
It doesn't need any more views. It doesn't need any more shares on Instagram or Twitter. X, excuse me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were getting ready. We were in New York playing on a Thursday night, prime time for preseason, and we were running pass patterns that went out to the sideline, and I overthrew my receiver, and of course I hit her right in the temple, right in the head. And it just so happens, a lot of people don't know this, my receiver was looking back for the pass. He actually ended up running into her and running her over.
Oh, jeez.
So, that was kind of, just insult to injury. But, we had our moment. I went over and gave her a hug. Later in the week, I sent her a bouquet of flowers. But she had to take a little time off. She had a concussion. And hopefully she has no remnants of that to this day, but I'll tell you what, it's definitely a conversation starter.
Sorry to bring that up again, but man, I had a good chuckle here in the studio when I found it again.
No problem at all.
Hey, Chandler, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and you're still a class act. And hey, good luck with whatever you do, and enjoy that family, because those kids will grow up fast.
That's right. The days are long, but the years are short.
Amen.
Thanks a lot, Dan. I appreciate you having me on.
Podcasts by Federated Media.